Hey everybody, this is Piero with Piero's Pizza. Today I'd like to show you guys how I make my Detroit style pizza dough. This recipe will make 2 pizzas, 300 gram dough balls. In this bowl I have 300 grams of King Arthur flour bread flour. I'm going to be adding 220 grams of water. It's about 75% hydration. So here we have our starter. I'm going to be adding 60 grams of starter, 6 grams of salt, 18 grams of olive oil. So the first thing we got to do is do a short autolyse on our flour. And autolyse is a French term, and essentially what it boils down to is that we're going to mix some of our water into the flour and let it rest before we start making the dough. The reason that we do that is because it starts to develop the gluten even while the dough is resting. And so that's going to give it some strength when we start adding our other ingredients like the olive oil and the starter. If you want to use a mixer to mix this together, you certainly can. But at this amount, I think it's easier to do by hand. If you do use your mixer, always make sure to scrape the bottom. Now we're not really looking to knead it, but we want the dry bits to disappear. These little dry bits in there, you don't want that. The dough's gonna stick, so you just get your hands a little wet. Fold the dough. You don't need dry bits. Just take our bench knife, scrape down the sides of the bowl a bit, get all of our dough together, and we're gonna let this rest 20 to 30 minutes. 30 is better than 20. I just want to show you this. You don't have to test this yourself. But you see how shaggy the flour is, the dough? When we let this rest, when we come back in 30 minutes, the texture is going to be completely different. It's going to be much easier to deal with. So our 30-minute autolyse is finished, and I just want to show you it's gotten a little bit stronger, a little more elastic. There's no instant ripping, and that's all from the gluten developing while it sits. So just a quick fact. Gluten actually isn't in flour per se. What happens is that when you hydrate certain proteins in the flour, they unravel and they connect together. And that protein strand is called gluten. So you can develop your gluten this way, just allowing the water and flour to sit together. We need to add our starter. I'm using a mature-ish starter. It hasn't collapsed yet, but it'll be there in about an hour or two. It's all a preference thing, you know. And we'll begin to incorporate the starter. I like to pinch the dough and fold it over the incredibly sticky starter. Basically what I'm doing is kind of pinching and then pushing and lifting and moving. What we're trying to do is, again, right now we're not so much trying to develop dough strength, but we don't want to see large streaks of starter inside of our dough. All right, it's nice and mixed. Now we need to add our salt. And we need to add our olive oil. Add 18 grams. Just pull away a little bit from the side. Slowly press the salt. Dough. Pick up the corner. Press down. Couple slap and folds. You can do this on a countertop too if you want. All of my salt has been absorbed. Rolls the olive oil. Now this is going to rest for 30 minutes, and then we're going to do 3 stretch and folds every 30 minutes while we bulk. been 30 minutes. What we've got to do now is we've got to do our first of 3 stretch and folds. In a sense, these numbers are not exactly precise. It'll depend on the strength of your flour. If it's a really, really high protein, high strength flour, maybe you only need 2. Create a little tension on the sides. Now we'll wait 30 minutes, and do it again. Wait 30 minutes, do it again. After that, it'll be about 2.5 to 3 hours of bulk time, and then you can throw it in the fridge overnight or ball it up and proceed to proof it until it's ready for use. Right, we have our Detroit style dough stretched out in our Lloyd's pizza pan. I got my oven 350 degrees with the convection on. I'm going to put this in there for roughly 5 to 6 minutes, and then we'll pull it out and finish the top.